Clair Whitworth-Kiernan for Unresolved Mysteries Solved While You Wait. We're very privileged today to have with us George Omphalos, a senior fellow at the Institute for Creation Studies and a leading expert on special divine creation theory. Good afternoon, Mr. Omphalos.
That's Dr. Omphalos.
I'm very sorry for my omission. Your doctorate is in biology?
Well, not precisely.
Biochemistry, then?
Not exactly that either.
Oh. Some variety of physics? You've written very extensively on the second law of thermodynamics.
Domestic science.
I beg your pardon?
I have a doctorate in domestic science from the Jim Jones School of Divinity.
I see. You wouldn't happen to have your diploma with you, would you? I'd be fascinated to see that.
I'm afraid it was never mailed to me. The registrar and most of her staff drank Kool-Aid, you see.
I think I get the picture.
And I'm not with the Institute for Creation Studies anymore either. Some of the other staff members and I had a dispute over creation science theory and came to a parting of the ways.
Well, that sounds fascinating. Could you explain the disagreement in layman's terms?
I'll try. You see, modern creation science theory postulates that the Earth, the whole universe, was created over a span of 6 days, some 6,000 years ago, as described in Genesis. The adherents of atheistic humanism science throw up a lot of objections about fossils and geomagnetism and radioisotope ratios and junk like that.
And how do you answer them?
We, that is, the Institute for Creation Studies, have been pursuing evidence that the Earth was created with all these apparent, I say, evidences of great age laid down in the rocks at the moment of creation. God thus gave the Earth the appearance of great age, but provided his people with the true age of the Earth in Genesis.
Sounds airtight to me. I honestly can't think of any possible piece of physical evidence that could refute it. Does make God out to be some kind of terrible fibber, though, doesn't it?
Not really. I feel sure that these spurious signs of great age are somehow necessary for the proper working of the planetary apparatus. And after all, he did give me the correct age of the Earth via divine revelation this last spring.
Yes, in Genesis it said... I beg your pardon? God gave you the correct answer. By a revelation?
Yes. This is the crux of the disagreement between myself and the ICS.
I'm afraid I'm still not following you.
Well, Bishop Ussher worked it out that the world was created at about 10:30 in the morning on the 21st of October in the year 4004 BC. But in the course of following out my researches, it occurred to me that the Earth need not be 6,000 years old, or even 1,000 years old. After all, it could have been created intact with all the signs of great age, even including the memories of any people living thereon at the moment of creation. And almost immediately, the true date of creation was divinely revealed to me.
And that was...
6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 6th of July, 1942.
I'm afraid I don't see the significance of that
My birthday.
Your birthday.
It has to be. I have direct experience back to the time of my birth, so the creation of the universe cannot have occurred after that date.
And the other creation scientists at the Institute for Creation Studies disagreed?
Yes, the fools. In their obstinate pride and blind arrogance, they refused to look at the evidence of my revelation and recognize my semi-divine nature.
I see. My, how interesting. And could you tell me what happens when you die?
Why, the world ends. But there's much to do before that time, if it ever comes. All the world must recognize that the existence of this world revolves around George Omphalos. All the false religions that have come before my advent must be swept away, and the recalcitrant unbelievers must be swept into a pool of fire, and
Mr. Omphalos? Mr. Omphalos?
My heart!
Mr. Omphalos!
My heart!
Oh, dear. Jack? Jack? Anyone up in the booth? Would you call an ambulance? I'm not sure it'll do any good, but somebody...
Excuse me, can I have that chair?
Chair?
Yes, that chair you're sitting in.
You want my chair? Why?
Because we're striking the set. First the furniture, then the firmament, then the greater and lesser lights of the sky, then the waters under the earth. But the furniture gets packed away first.
Oh, of course. Here you go.
Thank you.
This is This was Claire Whitworth-Kiernan for Unresolved Mysteries Solved While You Wait. Next week, I don't think we'll have a show next week.
Okay, who's got the book? Yes, the one with all the seals on it. Ah, thank you. Okay, cue Leviathan. Cue the whore of Babylon. Cue the hosts of heaven.
Good night.